So I think it's safe to say that that's the 6th presentation with, again, a completely different point of view. So really interesting. There's a little bit of time for questions. I actually have one question that would apply to all 3 of you, because I think the main things that you are doing are, or in many cases are, for people that are less privileged because of their background, because of where they grew up in Africa, or people that are been in prison and so on. How, maybe question for all of you, but please, if it's possible, short. How optimistic are you that this will actually, that the world will be a better place in 5 or 10 years from now? Shall we start with Huba, first speaker? If you're still there, Huba.
Yeah, of course. You'll just see it's dark behind me now, because it gets dark really soon in Pretoria at the moment. We're like halfway between summer and winter, so it's strange, and it's earlier than Cape Town, John. This is the downside of living in Pretoria. Marco, the quick answer is very. If I wasn't very optimistic, I would not be doing the work that I am doing in education. And definitely, if I look at some of the developments we've already seen and the people that I've been able to engage in on the continent, Noah also referred, we also have Ashoka in South Africa, and just how committed people are to making a change, then yes, I am very sure that it will happen. Maybe not in the exact way that we think now, but there will definitely be a change. And then, of course, you can look at development theory, what makes it different and what makes it better. I think if people have options to choose a different life, that makes it better, and not necessarily wealth, but the option to follow a different path.
Okay, thank you. John, your thoughts?
Your time horizon is quite short, Marco. I don't think we'll have a big difference in 5 years, but certainly there will be a difference. And it's, you know, you can't have the masses of people in states of poverty and distress, because social change will happen. So I think the question is not so much if change will happen. I think it will, but I think it's upon each of us to ask ourselves, what part did we play in that change? And are we just waiting for change to take advantage of it? Or are we actually protagonists that are creating the change and contributing to change? Whether that takes 5 or 10 years, you know, we should all be starting on it now. So I think it's inevitable. It's just a matter of where are you in that story?
Thank you. Noah, what do you believe?
I love the optimism here in the room. That's rare. I have a double. I think rationally, I think we're really in trouble. As I started, I really think we are in trouble, and I am an extreme optimist. So deep down inside of me, but if I really think about it, I think it's the chance that we really make it as humans is small, and that's why I think I really think everyone should play its part, and we can't. There are no smart people in this world that can really do this. We have to do it together. So I play the role of being optimist, but I sometimes feel stretched. I feel I want to believe that I'm optimistic.
But it's true when you look at the world, and 1% of the wealth, 1% of the population has, you know, 80% of the wealth, and then you do wonder, you know, how will we make change?
There are also, I think, 2 questions from the audience so far, both of them for Ziva, by coincidence. So one, maybe that's also something to answer with a fairly short answer. I hope I'm not putting too much pressure. We're not in that much of a hurry, but I guess that also people would like to end at some point. But how are the scholarships at Ziva funded, John?
We have some income generation products which we use to subsidize it, but most of it is from donor funding and patrons and corporate partners.
Okay, and then a question, maybe it's even related in some way. Do you form partnerships with organizations or social enterprises in Africa that are interested in seeking the assistance of the expertise of your faculty and students to help them? Long sentence, but I hope the question is clear.
Yes, we do.
Nice. A question for Huba. Do you work with organizations in Africa? A similar question. Do you work with organizations in Africa that are interested in becoming social enterprises by helping them liaison with agencies that can help them?
Yeah, we do. So we work a little bit in private sector development as well. So we do, not on a large scale. We have a little bit more going on in South Africa itself in that regard, but there is some NAFIC projects throughout the rest of Africa as well. So Alexander, if you're keen to engage, please feel free to contact me.
Okay, thank you. I might have a question still also for Noah, if that's okay. I heard you say in your presentation that you also work with universities. Is that mostly the big scientific universities or also universities of applied sciences?
Yeah, with any universities, we have a really big program in the US. But we have also started in Europe with partnering with universities, and this is really focusing on supporting universities how to teach change making, social entrepreneurship, and we combine that with our Ashoka fellows. So it's quite an interesting program for universities. We're launching a program with Erasmus University this year.
Okay. Interesting. So I think we have staff and students from various universities in your audience.
Yeah, please reach out to me if there's interest in this, in the depth of becoming a change maker, how you do it, and what our learning's been so far, because we're an organization 40 years old. Please let us know. I'll respond.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, I think we got a question for us as organizers also, whether we will be able to send us PowerPoint presentations and email addresses. We'll get back to you about that. I think there's a lot that's worth sharing. We didn't really agree on that with all the speakers yet, so we'd like to check first, but of course, whatever is available for people to get shared, I'm very happy to do so. There was also one last question then, and with that I think that would be rounding off slowly. Again for Noah, does Ashoka only help individuals who have become Ashoka fellows, or can you also help organizations that are looking to become social enterprises and need assistance to connect with people and organizations that can help them?
Yeah, we do both. So we focus on the social entrepreneurs. That's our biggest. That's why we are known mostly. But we are also supporting organizations to transition into a change maker organization, or to partner specifically with the social entrepreneurs. And again, also similarly for the universities, we also help universities to transition into becoming a change maker university.
Okay, thank you. I think I'm going to keep this short. You see all kinds of different examples that are all about making the world a better place in some way. And one of the conclusions that I think already drew before this conference, but it's confirmed now, is that doesn't just have to be through charity and donating money that you have as rich persons that have too much or whatever. There are all kinds of ways in which we can contribute to becoming a better version of ourselves as world, as organizations, as individuals. And you can do that on a small scale with small ideas. You can also have a high impact idea. There's an organization for every scope, I would say, and if there isn't such an organization, you can definitely found one. So it is an optimistic conclusion, I would say. There's a lot of work to be done, but there are a lot of people that are trying to move in the right direction. Okay, then it's about time to round off. I still would like to take 1 or 2 minutes to say a big thank you to the 3 students that now organized this event, but also to the 6 students that did the first part. Special thanks also to my colleague Celestina Stark here next to me and Monica Sontrop from Eindhoven for all the technical assistance. You could see that it's improvising once in a while, but I think we've managed to keep it working. So thanks for that. Fons International Business School for allowing our students and also myself as a coach to do this kind of projects. That is also maybe not so self-explanatory. We all have all kind of other work as well, so it's nice to be able to do this. Comenius Network for funding a small part of that as well. You audience for being here, watching, listening, staying here for 3 hours for the conference. Most importantly, I would say thank you to the 6 speakers of today, the ones that are still listening, and the rest we will thank them at a later moment. Not only for taking the time to do this presentation here for us and for our audience and to share your stories, but also in general for being people that are making the impact that we're looking for. I think that's where the big thank you comes. Yeah, and then I think that's about it. I wish you a nice evening if you're in somehow in the same time zone as we are, or a nice afternoon or night if you're in a different time zone. And we'll send anyway some follow-up mail with maybe some short survey questions and the kind of information that we can share. So that will follow up in the next week or so by mail. Thank you very much. And I think we're now ready to close this session.